Why you need to retire as soon as possible. This one matters to me. This was a life-changing event for me that I always feel like it's my fault for not being able to put this in words to make it to where enough people can understand how important it is to make work optional as soon as you can. I'm going to compare 2 years of my life, and then I'm going to explain the math of time using those 2 years. In 2021, I was working. I was a single parent, and I was investing in real estate. I retired in 2022, and I want you to understand the difference between 2021 and 2023 using the math of time. In 2021, I worked minimum 8 hours a day, sometimes 10 or 12, and usually a weekend here or there. I had a commute. I had to work out, clean the house, do all the normal things of life. And on a good day, I mean a really good day, I had probably 5 hours that were mine. Most days, it was a lot less than that. But mine to do what I wanted. And the problem with this is those 5 hours that were mine, like you and like most people, I was exhausted. Working 8 to 12 hours a day with the commute, doing all the things that life takes to get those 5 hours that you could do something for yourself. Most of us have the energy to hold a remote, or if you're a nerd, a gaming mouse, and sit in a chair. Not only is the job bad for your health, but what you do in your time off is usually bad for your health. Even if you love your job, think, are you looking forward to Friday? Because if you're living for the weekend, you're not living. So that's what 2021 looked like. Pretty much every year before the year that I walked away from the job and retired and never have to work again. No, it wasn't easy. It did take a decade. A decade of frugality, focus, discipline, the 5 years of suck, everything it took to get to the point where I could quit a job and never have to work again. So 2023, I have the same 24 hours. The days are the same, right? No big major earth change has happened between 2021 and 2023, but my world changed. I no longer have a commute. I no longer work 8 to 12 hours a day. Instead of a possible 5 hours of exhaustion that I have for me to live life, outside of selling my life 1 hour at a time, I now have a minimum of 15 hours a day. And the difference is I have 15 hours where I'm never exhausted, where I can go to any country I want, where I can scuba dive anytime I want, where I can game anytime I want, where I can make sure my schedule's clear so I can spend time with my friends and family and my kids that are still working, still have their schedule, but my schedule's open on their days off so we can actually spend time together. Because you basically get about 19 years with your parents or your kids, right? 18 living with your parents, 18 with your kids living with you. And then if you take the rest of the time after you move out of the house or after your kids move out of the house and you put every family dinner and game night together, you probably get 1 more year with them. But if you retire early and you make work optional, you turn that year into 3, maybe 4. More quality time with the people you care about. You can triple the amount of life in your years by taking 5 hours a day where you're exhausted and turn it into 15 where you have actually the energy to go do what you want. Don't sleep on this. You are going to be alive the next 10 years. They're going to happen anyway. It does suck, and it is not easy. But if you put the work into those 5 years of suck, you could take the average day where you work and have your commute and still have to do everything in life, and you can make it optional. You can turn 5 hours a day into 15. What will you fill your time with? This is the other biggest complaint that I get. I don't want to retire early. I don't know what I would do with my time. If you don't know what you would do with your time when you're not at work, it's because when you get out of work, all you can think of doing is holding a gaming mouse or a remote and looking at the TV because you don't have any energy. If you start building a life where What would you do with your friends and family if you had more time on their days off to go do something with them? What would you do if you had the energy? Is it joining the softball league in your area? Is it learning something like scuba diving or paddleboarding, throwing darts? Is there something that you can do outside of having to spend your time making money that would make your life worth living? This is what I want you to focus on. Right now, most people have the minimal experience in life because you have to work. It's okay to work, but when you have to work, you're not going to like the words I'm about to use, but I want you to think about this 2 hours from now. You are just a modern day slave. Instead of somebody being responsible for you, you have to sell your life 1 hour at a time to have the money to exist. If you learn how to put your money to work, which, yes, is not going to be easy, it is very simple. Spend less than you make, save and invest the difference. Pick an asset class that excites you. You're more likely to stick to a plan you're emotionally invested in when life kicks you in the teeth, because it's going to. If you start building a life where work is in the way, you'll stop thinking, I'll just retire when I'm old, because your retirement accounts, Social Security, and Medicaid, those are all traps that keep you working through all of the years where you actually have the health to go and enjoy life. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, this is what everyone does, because it's not what everyone does. There's a small percentage of us, and it's almost not even a recognizable percentage of us, who put money to work so that we don't have to. You can join that group, but you have to decide to do it. If you want your questions answered during live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, I do a video that lasts as long as the questions do. And yes, I'll even answer the questions from the people who say it's not possible to do it today. Yes, Frank, I wrote a book. You can find it on Amazon. It is Financial Freedom for the Lazy Person. Audible version coming soon. Have a day full of amazing.